people that was people for real. You know what I mean? It wasn't about no money. It was more about love, you know what I mean? It was love, understanding, and trust. You know, everybody had certain standards, certain morals. Everybody came from a good family background. You know what I mean? And these dudes out here today, they just basically like every man for themselves. You know what I mean? There's no love, and there's no love lost.
In these streets I walk around with my head hung to the ground, and I'm telling me. Might get shot right there on the spot, but I'm telling me.
Leroy Bucky Davis Jr. was born at the height of the Black liberation movements in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Bucky's early upbringing and character was shaped by his mother, Erie Davis, positive Christian vibes, his father Leroy Davis Sr., and the nurturing of a close-knitted family of aunts, uncles, and cousins.
His family was knit. Everything was family.
It was nothing to come home and you get ready to go to bed and one of your cousins is there.
Bucky, like most poor minority children in America, was born with promise, yet it was limited due to the historic structural inequalities, economical conditions, and unstable home environments.
Then we were like transitional people. We wasn't so hood that we couldn't get out of it, go and interact with other people.
During the 1970s, Bucky filed a mental health to die for the worst, forcing his mother to pack up and leave for the well-being of her children. Erie moved in with her parents, Marie and Marvin Harrison. Everyone in the neighborhood affectionately called Marie Mama. Mama lived on the 1300 block of Paxton Street in Southwest Philadelphia.
In the 1970s, Southwest Philadelphia was a nice place to live. Unlike most vile-looking inner-city communities, the neighborhood consisted of mostly two-story row homes, clean paved streets, black-owned businesses, and people living just under or above the poverty line. Recreational centers, playgrounds, and boxing gyms were used as refuge for many troubled youth trying to escape the dark worlds of gangs and expanding criminal activity.
In 1974, Bucky joined the Southwest Youth Center, where he was introduced to the boxing trainer, Dick Turner. Bucky fell in love with the boxing style of Mr. Turner's nephew, Anthony Two Gun Fletcher. Two Gun's flamboyant boxing style, superior hand speed, and unmatched slip game impressed the young starry-eyed Bucky so much that he would go home and mimic Two Gun's boxing moves. Within months of training, Buck's natural ability was showcased amongst other novice fighters. His exceptional ability to absorb the boxing basics transformed him into a phenom. Under the tutelage of Mr. Turner, Bucky would outshine fighters within his weight class. Mr. Turner began to enter the young flyweight into various local boxing matches around the city.
State fair, quarterfinal match. We fighting the kid. This kid had something like 100 and some odd fights when he was fighting the kid. And then he come back and he said, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna really go out and I'm gonna try to get this guy. And he did everything he could. And this kid was so discouraged because the kid wanted to quit. Twice the kid wanted to quit. But the kid ended up quitting in the third round.
He was like a mixture of Meldrick Taylor with the hand speed, but he was a hard puncher like a Pacquiao type of fighter.
Throughout the late 70s to the early 80s, Bucky's dedication and rigorous training would pay off. He would win multiple local tournaments, various Ohio State fairs, and multiple Junior Olympic championships. Bucky's national attention and accomplishments landed him on the 1985 United States boxing team, where he would go on to compete against Ireland's national boxing team at National Stadium in Dublin, Ireland.
I remember when they called him and, he was like, look, I'm going away, you know what I mean? And they wanted me to come out for these trials, USA trials. And at the time, that's when Meldrick and Holyfield and all them was big. You know what I mean? They was the big time amateurs. And Buck would call home, you know what I mean? And be like, yeah, I just stopped the bull like 32 seconds in the first round. Like after every fight, he would call home and be like, yeah, I just stopped the other bull like 34 seconds in the first round. But Buck was putting him out. He was getting him out of there.
He won both his fights. There's a couple great articles telling how fast he was, how many times he hit the guy for every one punch he threw.
He would go on to win the flyweight division at the tournament. Bucky would also go on to win the 1986 Golden Gloves. These victories signal his arrival as one of America's brightest new sports stars and a potential U.S. candidate for the 1988 Olympics.
He didn't realize how good he was. I remember a lot of times, man, you know, Mr. Turner and all them say, don't blow this gift. They'd always tell him because, I remember Buck had one foot in the street and 1 foot in the gym. So he had like dual lives. And Mr. Turner always used to tell him, you know what I mean, don't blow this gift that God gave you.
His mother, Eric Davis, finally moved them into their own home. At 16, Bucky met his high school sweetheart, Dion. That same year, they had a son named Lamar. He also had another son named Quantel from an old girlfriend, with the added responsibilities of 2 sons. Bucky started hanging with some bad elements of the streets. In the hood and nationally, he was seen as a promised young kid, with a bright future in boxing, but in the underworld, he was just another desperate youngster trying to make ends meet.
Gambling, start making money that way. And then something happened that somebody couldn't pay him the money, and that's when he got introduced to drugs. Somebody paid him in drugs.
When Buck started selling coke, he was hustling on 52nd and Chester with Outlaw, and then would go to Bartram. You know what I mean? He'd be out there, you know what I mean? I remember one time, Buck had these bullshit ass boots on. Like, Buck was the type of dude, he ain't give a fuck. As long as he get money, he had these crazy ass fucking boots on out Chester Avenue hustling.
For the next several years, Bucky was quickly becoming well known for his gambling habit and addiction. His game of choice was pool sharking and craps. His nickname amongst the hustlers and gamblers was Lucky Bucky.
He had certain people back then getting money different ways. Like, Buck way of getting money. He would literally go corner to corner looking for crack games. And when people saw Buck coming to a crack game, I know how we felt when we seen him coming. You know, we was like this, like, we ain't gonna lose because he always would win.
We went to a spot off of Marcus, and you had to pay a fee just to come through the door. House money. You know what I mean? You get a house $1 for every time you crapped out or whatever. Instead of that, you had to give the house just to walk through the door, $1,000 just to walk through the door. And before you could leave the house with your winnings, you had to give people a half an hour notice. Listen, I'm leaving in a half. I'm off these dices in a half. At first, he had over $100,000. And I was like, yo, man, let's go. It's time to leave. It's time to leave. He's like, nah, I got it. I said, Buck, let's go, man. It's time to leave. He was like, man, he gave us half an hour notice. And he went anywhere between $130,000 and $140,000. He left out with all this money. I mean, bags of money, man. Trash bags of money. And he was like, all right, let's count the money. So we start counting the money and this, that, and another. Like I said, anywhere between $130,000 and $140,000. And he told me, he said, Mel, you have all the ones and the fives.
Again, Bucky seemed to come out smelling like roses, until one day inside a one-way in, one-way out illegal gambling spot. He got caught dropping crooks in a dice game against an old-time hustler and gangster. The old-timer felt disrespected and wanted to make an example out of Buck. Buck was stuck between a rock and a hard place until a mover and shaker in the drug game recognized Bucky as a young buck from his hood and intervened on his behalf. That mover and shaker was one of Junior Black Mafia's top lieutenants, Black Sam, Magic. Black Sam's influence saved Bucky's life that day, and from that day forward, Black Sam and Bucky formed an unbreakable bond. This bond introduced Buck to the JBM and a game that would transform his life forever.
It was the biggest bust anywhere, anytime. 13 tons of cocaine from the jungles of Colombia, worth $1.2 billion in the streets of the United States.
There's a new epidemic. Smokable cocaine, otherwise known as crack.
It took me out of reality. You know, if I had a problem, I forgot about my problem.
When crack came, it was really became a very serious problem because there was a lot of people who became addicted quickly to it.
The folk there, the family social structures, you know, the women during that particular time were doing things unimaginable. I mean, when we first were growing up, you know, they turned them from decent, loving and nurturing mothers, you know, to women that, you know, men would no longer respect anymore.
I was sitting in the juvenile facility with J-Mo. Young niggas was leaving, coming back with pictures and Benzes and Mercedes and Lincolns. And I said, well, god damn, but you went cross country to get that money? What, you had to jump over a bank counter? He said, no, I had a shift on the corner selling rocks. I said, nigga, you ain't had no fucking shift selling rocks on the corner to get you all that kind of shit.
Like, no, that's what it's hitting for right now.
Man, they had the stove flamed up, big ass fucking pots, cooking up shit, you know what I mean? You got niggas in, it was like a 3-bedroom house. You got niggas in every room bagging up shit, like plates upon plates, and had so much coke, man, you know, you could easily slide it, you know what I mean? 6, 7 ounces off the table, bag up some shit and push it.
Sections of Philadelphia, for example, like up in the Hunting Park area, where one drug dealer said it was like ants, you know, selling and buying.
What is known about the JBM origins, according to the court documents, statements, and informant accounts, is that the Junior Black Mafia was started around early 1986 in Southwest and West Philly.
There were two brothers, Hayward and James Cole, who were supplying certain groups with cocaine. They started to focus on getting together groups of people.
It was no leadership amongst the young motherfuckers from 16 to about 30. You had a whole gap of old heads that got washed away. So it was like, you know, according to the Daily News, this is why these niggas came together, man, so that way they could have organized structure for if a nigga was gonna go the wrong way, at least he would be taken care of. He didn't have to be alone.
These young guys decided that they were going to take over the drug business in the city. They were going to supply cocaine to all these little drug gangs out on the corners.
The unquestionable leaders of the JBM were James Cole and Aaron Jones. From various parts of the city were lieutenants, squad bosses, bodyguards who protected the JBM bosses and did their part-time enforcement assignments. Enforcers whose jobs were to shut down rival drug dealers' operations and do JBM hits. Associates who got drugs on consignment from the JBM and operated their own network independently, and carriers who transported their drugs. Mostly all JBM members were young black men in their late teens to mid-20s. The JBM's drug profit afforded the JBM members to live an extravagant lifestyle that had women flocking to them as if they were celebrities.
That midnight was popping, man. All the shows was there. LL Cool J was the young boy coming down there, Public Enemy. Anyway, that midnight closed. They opened up a bigger one on Spring Garden Street. Opening night, Salt and Pepper down there. Everybody down there. 3,000 people down there on Spring Garden Street. And we hear about all these dudes coming down there in these convertible Saabs, parked all lined up with each other. There was a story that it was all them.
They used to buy their cars, their Volvos, their BMs, Benzes, whatever, and they put on the front license plate joint. They have different sayings. You know what I mean? Buck was one of the first people I seen on the front of his joint. He had it serving them well.
It was so much money to the ones wouldn't even count. If it was dollar bills, he'd give it to you. He'd take that money.
Jay give you dollar bills. He had a trash bag full of dollar bills. So just like this, go to the mall.
You know, we used to do shit like this. You go down there to fucking downtown. He had the stores and shit down there. You know what I mean? City Blue and all them joints. You go down there. Yo, Buck said I could come down here and get some shit. Alright, man, give me 2 sweatsuits, couple pair of kicks, this, that, and the third. Yeah, Buck said put it on his tag. He told me to come down. You know what I mean? Alright. Maybe trying to call Page and them there. They can't get that contact. They gonna give it to you anyway. Buck come through. This nigga got a tab. Fuck you, man. I ain't tell that nigga to come down here, such and such. You gonna pay the tab anyway. You ask him, hey, alright, whatever. What's my tab? Clear it up. Everybody got shit on his name.
He brought me a Gucci rain jacket, brought me some sneaks and all that. I said, yo, I gotta buy my girl something. He said, you got money? He didn't know I was saving my money up. When I bought the girl something, he's like, yeah, that's how you keep it.
Everybody getting money. Ain't nobody really jealous of nobody. Everybody having a nice time.
High-ranking JBM members wore diamond-studded Rolex watches and signature gold rings.
With the initials JBM, and they were encrusted with diamonds. And there were maybe about 11 of them made, 11 or 12 made, and they were given out to the major players at that time.
It wasn't just rings. I mean, people was putting it on cars. You know what I mean? It was a lifestyle. A ring was just the icing on the cake, but it was just a lifestyle. JBM was a lifestyle. You know what I mean? People say Junior Black Mafia, but you know what I mean? Another take on that was just blowing money. And they was blowing money, and they had blow and money.
Along with the perks of being a JBM member or associate was a brotherhood-type atmosphere that was fostered by leadership where everyone greeted each other with the expression, family, and a bear hug. Their empire and network expanded around the city, intimidating and approaching other coke dealers. with the threat to use violence if they didn't buy their drugs or pay street taxes. The JBM motto was, get down or lay down.
Unfortunately, it's people who can bear witness to that. That's alive, and then those who can't, is the reason why they can't.
Ain't nobody had what they had. Ain't nobody had it for the numbers they had it. So you ain't had no fucking choice but to get down. Like, they had what you needed for way cheaper than what you would have ever got.
You know, we talking 25 years later, and you know, you got some punk bitch-made niggas that might come home and they remember how it was when the fam had the town. And they'd try to downplay like their uncle ain't had to get down, or their brother was already a millionaire, or they would have never got down with the niggas. They're all lying. All you motherfuckers would have got down, and all you motherfuckers did get down. This is some of you motherfuckers wasn't even worth the headache.
Junior Black Mafia's drug runs and connections ran up and down the eastern seaboard, from Philadelphia to Florida, and as far as California.
At first, Cole was the intermediary to get the cocaine. And he was going to Miami, but that source dried up. So they had to find another one. Earl Stewart, known as Mustafa, was later supplying cocaine from California, 100 kilos at a time.
The JBM's empire and network distributed large quantities of coke and small amounts of heroin through their street bosses into Southwest, West, North, South Philly, and Uptown.
Bucky became a member of JBM in 1986. He was Black Sam's top manager and distributor.
Just because he was an athlete, a known athlete, that put him on a microscope for drug deals because he was, a strong figure in the community.
Buck was good at managing personnel. He already knew how to, get money, but Buck inspired you. He made you think that you're the only nigga who can move that 9.5. And he made the next man feel that way too. So you felt relevant. Even though he got like 10 motherfuckers, like the way Buck would talk to you, he make you feel relevant. Like, I really need you.
Buck was one of those special type of dudes, People see he had the qualities and potential to be, a great leader of men.
According to a reliable former JBM member, Aaron Jones wanted Bucky under his wing so he could personally groom him. So one day, Aaron approached and told Black Sam that Bucky would be working under him.
Back up, fall back. Whatever they gonna get, you get a G off and everything. So he got 30 joints, he got 30 by doing that.
That movement and promotion, the elevation of Bucky's status to a squad boss, that put him at the table with the other JBM bosses.
Bucky was a dude, man, that was gonna make a hell of a name for himself without even being associated with that.
The money wasn't, it wasn't what he glorified. He didn't glamour the money, It was like, hey, you can have this. It's nothing, you know what I'm saying? Just do the right thing, be loyal.
A lot of dudes admired Buck when he was a young boy, when he was out for the Golden Gloves and all that. And he was like a real thorough dude. So a lot of dudes followed his lead. So I think if Buck decided to be a painter, niggas would have started painting just to be able to say, I paint for Buck. You know what I'm saying? If niggas was driving old beat up trucks with their paint supplies, Buck would have got a new van. And niggas would have been talking about that. You see that motherfucking van Buck riding around in? Man, I think I'm gonna be a motherfucking painter. He brought a lot of leadership, he brought a lot of brotherhood, you know what I'm saying? And he brought a lot of opportunity, man, because he wasn't a nigga that got on and he left a whole bunch of niggas with their rib cage sticking out. Oh, niggas ate when Buck was around. You know what I mean? If not directly, but indirectly. Motherfuckers was eating.
Bucky began to put a crew together that he could trust. He would select Rodney Frog Carson to be his right hand.
Frog and Buck actually got together because Buck needed Frog to get an apartment in Frog's name.
This is basically how he kind of started hanging around us, more so. And he was from the service, he was the one in the service, he was stationed down in the neighborhood. And he started seeing money, he started seeing the glamour, he started seeing these things that he started wanting. Things that the service wasn't giving him, stuff like that. So he ended up AWOL. Start trying to ask, what can you do, things like that. So he knew something to do and took it from there.
People was like, this dude ain't putting no work in, this, that, and other. So,
Like, where he even come from?
He gave people a bad taste in their mouth, and I think it was mistaken as people was jealous, and it wasn't a jealous thing. It's just that people saw it for what it was. He hadn't proven himself in that part of the game. So why is you giving him all this power when we've been around you X amount of years? You know what I mean? Why that power wasn't given to a person like Little, a person like me? You know what I mean? But I guess in his own way, Buck was protecting us.
Frog's main responsibility would be to manage the day-to-day operations, which consist on collecting money, making sure drugs were bagged, and distributing to the coke houses, and to survey the hood for drug dealers. Other members of Bucky's squad at the time were Lydell Johnson, Will Quiet Storm Purdue, Melvin Davis, Manny Mason, Littles, Lefty, and Suge. Each worked as clockers in a house on Cecil Street and were paid a weekly salary. The spot was a gold mine. It was located between Greenway and Woodland Ave on 58th Street.
That house produced a lot of money, man. That was the money maker right there.
24-hour shift. You know what I mean? And actually, I said, I did a 24-hour shift for maybe about 4 or 5 months by myself.
Once we flooded that neighborhood with the stuff that we was getting, and the quality, not the quantity, but the quality that it was, it's like you knocked everybody else out the box.
I knew the shit started getting real serious because eventually we had to, secure the house.
That joint was like something I never even seen before. Like, you know what I mean? Then the barricades up, like, you show in the stores, the metal shutters. You slide that down. Every door, every window had the metal shutters on the joint.
Shit came in. I said, yeah, it's going down. It's about to jump.
On my shift alone, the 11 to 7 shift, I made over $24,000 in one night. That's just one night, pushing shit through a hole.
The traffic was ridiculous, and this thing was going on 24 hours a day. Just imagine you setting up a shop, and you got people coming every 30 seconds, and nobody is spending less than $50. And this is going on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Bucky and his crew were literally rolling in the dough. The money allowed Bucky and Frog to buy 2 new convertibles, BMW 325i's, and moved into an apartment out Penrose where the professionals and athletes lived. They were moving up in the world, making a name for themselves as a growing force within the JBM.
That nigga made the name Leroy a fly name in the hood.
86, he probably was the man then. He probably was, booming. He had it uptight.
Up the Southwest, that was him. You know what I mean? Yeah, I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. Yeah, it didn't go through B, it ain't go through.
At the height of his career, they were, I would roughly say, a lot of his numbers were pulling in hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. I would say millions, he was bringing in about, I'd say he was in that club. He was in that millionaire club, so they was bringing in, I was in the height, millions of dollars every month.
It wasn't only black people coming to Cecil Street, huh? I mean, you had white people, doctors, lawyers. You had motherfuckers getting you in their cars. You can hold my car. I mean, I'm fucking 19 years old, 19, 20 years old, driving a doctor's Jaguar in Atlantic City.
Infuriated local law enforcement and the drug task force began to bear down with the full weight of the law on Bucky's money-making operation. Bucky needed a solution. The solution would have to be expansion, meaning violence and stepping on the toes of other rival drug dealers. A part of the game, Bucky had to confront to prove his worth and solidify his position as an elite JBM member. So Bucky sent his right-hand man Frog as a scout to locate independent drug dealers in the Southwest Philly region who were not paying street taxes or buying their drugs from the JBM. Frog would extend the JBM's offerings, get down or lay down, and then report back to Bucky. There were some who shrugged off the warnings and would have to be dealt with by the JBM's muscle.
Crew called on crew. I mean, if you was from uptown, you can easily call somebody and say, yo, I need y'all to come down here, take care of some business for me or whatever, so it didn't matter. Crew was crew.
If a motherfucker went out his way to come find you at a party, at a mall, in the bed with your motherfucking baby mom, and offer you to come to the table and sit down with men and have a respectable meal, and you push the plate away, but you still eating junk food anyway, no, man. You wasn't gonna last too long in this town.
It wasn't a climate where you can get bread comfortably. Like, niggas was making niggas take cars back because your car looked like mine.
I'm the only one in the city riding this joint, you know what I mean? This the only color right here. I don't want you in this joint, you know what I mean? Especially if the nigga thought he was hustling or whatever. Look, dog, even if it wasn't a hustling nigga, you know what I mean? I heard reports where motherfucker Aaron had the first 750, you know, that year that came out, Beamer. He seen some nigga, regular old nigga, he wasn't even hustling nothing. He slid up on the nigga like, yo, next time I see you, nigga, you better have that car changed, get your color changed or whatever, you know what I mean? Ran up on a nigga the second time, nigga ain't have it changed, you know what I mean? He smacked the nigga up. Third time they seen that nigga, he ain't had that car.
You can't floss like I floss. You gotta do it different. Because you're not us.
According to the Daily News, a lot of niggas got punished, man, you know, for being out of order, not being able to put something on the plate that was better, that was already out there. They wasn't bringing nothing to the table but a motherfucking war story, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, a lot of old niggas got punished, man, you know what I mean? Some young niggas, too.
The JBM's violence would force JBM leader and connect James Cole to step down from his leadership position and retire in 1987. James Cole was older and wiser than the younger, brash, muscle-flexing JBM members. He understood violence was bad for business because it got cops and politics involved in the game. So he stepped aside and hooked Aaron Jones up with his California drug important connection, Earl Stewart. He was now the head of the Junior Black Mafia. His high intellect would serve as a vital asset to the growth of the JBM's organization.
He was a really smart guy. And had he not gone in the drug business, he might have been an entrepreneur.
He had a lot of style, he had a lot of class, and he had a lot of charisma. And I think that's what drew a lot of people to him, you know what I mean? Because, you know, he was that dude.
And his character was, you get what you see. As long as you was straight up and down with him, he was straight up and down with you.
He brought together a group of people that he trusted.
He used to come through, four-door Pathfinder, 4 deep. Niggas open the door for him, they surround him.
He said, I don't fuck with niggas that don't treat their family fly. So it was like, you couldn't have been riding with him every day, and you got a Cadillac, and he got a Benz, but your mom is paying a hat to get to the market. No, man, he'll stop fucking with you behind some shit like that.
Under the absolute reign of Aaron Jones, the JBM grew into an enormous multi-million-dollar enterprise, from the sale of 150 to 200 kilograms of cocaine a week. By the end of 1987, the JBM's violent and dominant hand extended into every section of the city. Other newly recruited high-ranking members, major distributors, and wholesale buyers were Brian Thornton, a.k.a. Moochie, who ran the Richard Allen Projects. Kevin Bowman, North Philly, Reginald Reeves, and Larry Brown had various regions in West Philly, and Mark Casey operated all over Uptown.
And then they went down Richard Allen and made him deal with Sam and Moochie. Infamous. And then when they had Sam, Moochie, and Kev, that really gave him a strong hold on North Philadelphia.
For the young nigga that was in the hood, they had to go through the fam.
Motherfuckers said, yo, this is us, we got this block now, y'all got the road. That's how it went down.
Southwest put in all the work. Like, niggas will tell you, like, Southwest had them motherfucking goons. Man, the goons is in Southwest. Don't get me wrong, I ain't disrespecting nobody else, taking nothing from nobody else, but the goons is in Southwest. Real fucking rap. And anybody who was around at that time will tell you who's putting that work in.
Motherfuckers knew, yo, get the fuck out their way, they coming through.
However, Bucky's crew fueled the engine of the JBM's multi-million-dollar machine.
Everybody wanted to join the team, you know, the down the front team. Everybody wanted to get on that good shit, lollipop. So, of course, everything started, you know, once you have one direction, things going in one direction, it turns and goes, leave that direction and go to another direction. And the direction that everybody was coming to was the direction that we was in.
When he was eating, the family was eating. We talking down to cousins and everything. Like, Buck got a real big extended family. And the thing about it, when Buck ate, everybody ate.
You can't find many people that's going to say bad things about Buck. You know what I'm saying? Just maybe a hater here or there, you know? But for the most part, everybody loved Buck.
Southwest, South Philly, North. His name was Rainy, you know, Little Bucky. You know, maybe we went Little Bucky the box, Little Bucky getting it.
Oh, hilltop hustling game was up on 52nd and Raleigh. They had a video at this hair salon. Now, dig this. Cool seeing them all out there, and people was out there to see Cool seeing them, right? But Buck come around here and go in the hair salon. It seemed like the whole crowd, the whole situation, when you
They just stopped. It wasn't about Goosey no more. It was about, yo, they go to ball. They go to ball. Lucky Bucky.
Well, he had more like a flamboyant style. Like, he liked to wear, you know, slacks, shoes. Looks like a dressy type of guy. You know, his pants be running $1,000, his sweaters $500, you know, that type of stuff. He liked the bling, you know, the jewelry. He just liked that look that made him stand out. And a lot of guys, when they see him with those type of things, you know, they'll start dressing in those black manners. Hey, for him, that's the first time I started dressing differently outside what everybody else was dressing. Like, you know, we had the boys and I went shopping with him. You know, and I wasted about like $10,000 down there on those same type of clothes.
Hell of a dressing, you know what I mean? Had the best jewelry, not too out of pocket, not no clown shit, but some high-end shit.
We was the first cats rocking gator boots, you know what I'm saying? Southwest ain't nothing about no gator boots. We was popping gator boots back in 87, 88. Yeah.
I don't think he had a ring that was under 15,000. Yeah, his shit was on tilt.
However, some of the JBM members perceived Bucky's squad as soft pretty boys due to their glamorous lifestyles, jewelry, and extravagant clothing.
That's just it, because that was their perception. And you always want to work against what the perception is. Like, them niggas pretty, you know what I mean? And they the niggas that put that work in, man. Like, niggas is taking niggas' heads off, man. Like, real rap, taking your head off in Gucci.
We look good. I mean, we can't help, you know what I mean? We came up before that looking good.
I think the Southwest crew had the most women. Like, the women flocked to the Southwest crew.
Because we was the flyest niggas in the city. You know what I'm saying? No hands down. You know what I mean? They had to try to get up to our level. You know what I'm saying? We was the shit.
It was just those new jacks, like people he brought in. Like, as time went on, you know, everybody want to belong to something. It was those new jacks that he started dealing with.
The Southwest faction was basically considered like a faction of, you know, just handsome guys, you know, dressed pretty nice. They looked at them more so like pretty boys. You know, so it was like basically like a love-hate relationship, basically. You know what I mean? It was a respect factor to a degree, but it still was like a lot of envy from other factions, especially from around the city.
Cats envy Buck, you know what I'm saying? They just envy Buck, you know. People wait, you know what I'm saying, wait for Buck to pull up and get out of his car just to see what he got on that day.
I don't give a fuck if you got on a pair of Adidas and they got on Converse. They mad because you got the Adidas on. Or they mad because you got Gucci sneakers on. Or they mad for some reason. Whenever people are jealous of you and envy of you, they're gonna always target you. Well, Mel, you just gave them all the shit they was mad at us about. Everything. Yeah.
However, the truth about why some members didn't like Bucky was jealousy, triggered by his growing popularity. Bucky was well known due to boxing. He formed strong bonds with important people that in turn gave him access to the world known by only stars.
We had the stories, and they went over there to the fight. They showed Sugar Ray Leonard and, you know what I mean, Don King and all them niggas. They got the photos to show this shit. This ain't no fake shit. And one of my memorable photos of Buck is he chilling, sitting next to Don King, and Don King looking at his chain, admiring his shit. You know what I mean? And he's a young boy. He probably, what, I was involved in it. Fucking 19 years old, you got Don King looking at his jury like, god damn.
NWA came through. Yeah. And Eazy-E had to be, Eazy-E about 4'11". He wasn't taller than Buck, and Buck was 5 feet. And I'm just looking at these guys and how Buck communicated with them and how they took to him. I mean, a lot of people took well to him. It wasn't like, he just knew how to communicate with people where they felt comfortable around him. Right. You know what I mean? And I mean, from Eazy-E to Gerald Levert, Mike Tyson, Bobby Brown, you know what I mean? I mean, people just took well to him, and that just showed the character about him, man, that he wasn't a bad dude.
You know, with their newfound money, they were making money hand over fist, so they were buying flashy cars, Mercedes, Jeeps, you know, very late model cars, and had no seeming source of income, and they were noticed by the police.
The Crime Commission reported that a turf war was taking place between the JBM and the Shower Posse. It was claimed that this war was responsible for 27 homicides.
The police actually literally got on TV, blanked one of the police officers' faces out, and asked us literally on TV the Junior Black Mafia basically was gonna say, whoever y'all is, why don't y'all go ahead after these guys and get rid of them for us. And that's what they literally try to do. They try to put us and them at heads with each other. You know. No, we didn't like them shooting them young guys and taking them out the airports and then running back to Jamaica. We wasn't feeling that.
So the M came through and cleaned that shit up like, nigga, y'all gotta get the fuck from around here, you know what I'm saying? I got the bounce, nigga, you ain't gonna be around here selling that shit. This ours, this our neighborhood, you know what I mean? Most of them dudes that shot posse and shit, niggas was coming up from New York. So when they came down with that shit, they got it in for a little minute, but then when the M got it all, formed it all up, you know what I mean? Niggas had to roll. That was the way it went. They got the fuck out of there. They went to war a little bit, but they couldn't stand the pressure.
In the coming months, the JBM would become more reckless and dangerous, grabbing headline after headline.
I found out that they were low-key for the first couple years, and then as they grew and there was more cocaine brought into the organization, there was many more fights, many more gunfights, and there was just this trail of bodies. At least 24 people were killed. And that was ranking up there with the Black Mafia of a decade earlier.
In '89, that's when everything like really started to, you know, escalate.
Generally on the streets, a drug organization lasts about 4 years. You know, they get together, you know, they work together, and then once they start making money, that's when the feuds start. They're short on the money, turning the money in for the drugs that are sold, the drugs go up their noses, you know, that sort of thing. And then once you have money problems, then you have violence. And so there's disputes that go on, and that often is what the violence usually ends the organization.
I remember Buck saying, that ain't gonna never happen to us. We're gonna always be on top. And he said that amongst a whole great deal of people, but when we got in the car and we pulled away, he said, you know that's eventually going to happen to us. I was like, what? I said, what are you talking about? He said, man, this shit ain't going to last forever, man. And, you know, a lot of us ain't going to make it, and a lot of us going to go to jail.
A problem still existed for Bucky and the JBM. There were still pockets of independent drug dealers who refused to get down with the Junior Black Mafia. Two independent dealers, Capone from Southwest and Craig Haynes from Uptown.
Buck my frog go around the Snakes bar one day, and go in there and holler at the boy, tell him, you know, fall back off top, man. You know, that's my people. You know what I'm saying? You know, so dude was already high. They said and all that. So you know, Buck the mannerism that he had when he approached the boy, and you know, the boy was like in a situation where as though he wasn't accepting the motherfucker to come and tell him nothing. You know, so Buck left it as what he left it as, you know, the words that he chose to leave with the boy. And when he walked away, the boss shot him in the back, you know what I mean? Shot him in the buttocks.
In those days, Southwest was having gun battles after gun battle. And, you know, there were numerous people getting killed. I mean, and it really, really affected whether children could go out on the street to play. It affected, you know, people being able to go to work.
They had a little connect together. They had a nice little connect. They was getting some things in and stuff like that. They was doing some things. And then eventually Tuck got killed. When Tuck got killed, me and Buck went uptown and met him. He wanted to come in, you know what I'm saying, as far as like get down with us. Eventually, you know, people kept bothering him on the other end. So he was like, hell with it. I ain't doing nothing.
The JBM's resources and strongholds in most parts of the city would drive Craig Haynes from Uptown to South Philly, where he had family ties. Here he regrouped, reestablished ties with other independent drug dealers, and recruited and hired guys to do his bidding against the JBM.
I goes down South Philly in a red car, in a red Volvo. Now this Volvo stands out. It's red with a black top, got a sound system like crazy. No one tells me about the war. I goes down, I'm driving downtown, and I'm looking, and everybody looking at me. They're not looking at me like, damn, nice car. They looking at me like, fuck is this nigga doing down here? Pointing at me like, damn, what's all this fucking disrespect that's going on? And I'm driving the fucking car and this, that, and another, and a Buck phone rang. And I answered the phone. He said, oh yeah, by the way, we were in South Philly, don't go down there. I'm like, nigga, I'm down here now. I hit a U-turn so fucking fast. Shot right across Grace, very good, came back. I said, man, I'm down in the heart of this motherfucker. Niggas pointing at me and said, he said, nigga, you only been on one day. You would have dead 2 days.
According to legal documents, on February 2nd, 1989, in the early hours, reputed JBM muscle Joseph Cobb and other JBM members shot Terrence Goss, aka Papers, an associate of Craig Haynes. Later that day, Craig Haynes' crew got into several vehicles and pursued Philly for JBM members.
Allegedly on March 8th, 1989, Darrell Woods, street manager for Frog, was arrested on aggravated assault charges. According to police, Woods told him he worked for the JBM in Southwest Philly and promised to meet again to talk more about the JBM's activities. This incident led to Darrell Woods to be shot multiple times and Neil Wilkerson being killed at the Richard Allen Project.
That's the situation I think is like someone think that you might do something or say something, but really have no proof. So, you know, back in that time, a lot of innocent people was you know, gone for just on suspicion.
The city was shook about that. That sent a clear message that, nigga, I don't give a fuck where you at. If you out of pocket and you disrespect this, you gonna get dealt with, homie. So don't think that just because you downtown, you gonna get a motherfucking pass.
You know, that was a very, you know, some very powerful, significant shit to show you how niggas move, you know, to, you know, do what they gotta do, to try to catch what they gotta catch.
And that actually made a lot of motherfuckers change their life around after that. They said, damn, these niggas got enough heart to see a nigga in front of City Hall. What the fuck they gonna do to me if they catch me in front of my mama's house?
The JBM's spiked in violence and thoughtless act committed at City Hall caused law enforcement to move into action. The JBM had to be stopped. Allegedly, on August 10, 1989, Craig Haynes' crew received a call that Aaron Jones was at the Tobin's Inn, located on Lincoln Pike. According to sources, moments after Aaron exited the building, several armed men fired a barrage of shots at the Tobin's Inn, killing Donald Branch and supposedly wounding 2 others. Branch was mistakenly identified for the JBM boss. Donald Branch murder was all over the local news stations, newspapers, and radio. The assault and attack on bringing down the JBM was in full throttle.
There was an attempt to form a task force to target it. And, you know, when police start task force, the media finds out about it.
The anti-JBM task force consisted of a multi-agency approach of local and state police agencies with Aaron Jones' brother-in-law, FBI agent Jesse Coleman, helping with the investigation.
There was a task force in the city, and it wasn't going anywhere. And some of the members of the task force came to him to ask him if he would do the investigation. And he said he would try to help them behind the scenes.
With Aaron and Sam off the streets battling their legal troubles, a surprise changing of the guard had taken place within the organization.
Aaron listening, tell him what's your name, go ahead and see the people, hit them off for some money, or go see the people actually. let's think of money, go pick the money up, take it down there, and go see the people in Miami. California, Miami, one of the spots. He goes down there, give people money, people don't get nothing. You know, so, but I think Aaron made that choice in the matter of letting Moose handle things and taking over instead of Bucky, because I think he didn't want the boy to feel some kind of way when he gave it to Bucky. You know what I'm saying? I think he might have felt that, you know, he might feel some kind of way if I give it to Buck. Buck really don't, you know, he cool with it. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no sweat. But I think Aaron was feeling some kind of way with it, though, if I give it to Moose. But I don't give it to Moose going kind of funny.
The up-and-coming months would be trying for Bucky and his fraction. The once family atmosphere was beginning to turn sour.
I used to always tell him to get out of that. Because half of them cats was just around him for what he can do for him. They ain't really care about him.
According to street sources, under Mooch's authority, certain JBM members and associates began to see the work they had received from Aaron cutting head was sometimes non-existent.
Like words on the street, you know, that, you know, he wasn't getting nothing. You know what I mean? So he had to make other moves. You know, and that's how he was. Like, okay, I'm not gonna kiss your ass, I'm gonna just do what I gotta do.
At first, every crew helped everybody crew. It was like, okay, this crew is gonna do their thing, this crew is gonna do this thing, this crew is gonna do their thing. But as I said, we all crew and we're gonna help each other out. So when people start falling, like going away for a while, and things got shaky, motherfuckers just start looking out for their own crew. They start looking out for self. You know, self-preservation rules the nation. So you know what I mean? I gotta look out for self first. And that's the attitude that a lot of people took.
You talking about greed and envy, you talking about dealing with a lot of women, guys that's doing a little bit more or more successful in that particular trade.
Damn, he get more money than me. This nigga, you know what I mean? He got the baddest bitches.
A lot of that was based off of, you know, people not liking each other based off of little petty differences like that. A lot of hate was like going on behind that.
His I don't give a fuck attitude was about to show itself. You know what I mean? And his problem in the game was that he gave a fuck. You can't be in this game and give a fuck. You can't give a fuck about nothing. And his problem is that he gave a fuck.
Buck had an argument with somebody in the organization, in another sector of the organization, and that person ain't take too kindly to the argument.
The boy was loved by many. So when them dudes seen that, dudes see a dude like him can walk in any neighborhood and get love, dudes hated them. Cause them dudes, certain dudes came to the city like, came down here Southwest, Gucci, like, who is you? You know, them dudes thought they was bigger than him. You can't be bigger than him out here. You bigger than him where you at. You ain't bigger than him out here. So you don't get the respect. So then when the nigga start riding around, you know, putting his intimidation moves on other youngins or whatever, you know, and Buck said something to him, you know, how them dudes get. They can't stand it.
From my understanding, man, motherfuckers, you know, like I said, motherfuckers was just hating on him anyway, but, you know, he was taking control and different shit, you know what I mean? They were saying like he was going to
break off and we could do our own thing, because, you know, he made his own moves.
He had the power to reach out beyond them, you know what I mean? The motherfuckers from, you know, upper so-called upper echelons of the M that was, you know, hitting everybody off, you know what I mean, with the shit. He was in a position where, you know, motherfucking Connects was coming straight at him like, yo, you that bull, like, hey, you know, we just ready to turn that thing to you, dog. I don't think niggas like that, you know what I mean? He had the power to do his own thing.
He went from an outward person to an inner person. You know what I mean? A person that could mingle amongst the crowd and enjoy the crowd enjoy him, to a person that was standoffish, like, you know, chill, relax, man. You know what I mean? I first of all, I got to keep this persona, this image, because I got to let people know I'm never slipping. You know, so he became from outer to inner, man, and it ate away at his core.
His thing was trying to get out of the game. You know what I mean? I told him to go away. Just leave. You know, he would say, oh, no, the feds ain't gonna let me go away.
Like he told me, you know, I'm so deep in it. He said, I can't get out of this. You know what I mean? It's no way I can turn. And he was like, man, you know, I really messed up. He kept saying, I really messed up.
I honestly believe he knew something wasn't right, you know, so you had that feeling, that eerie feeling that something was going on, you know, and he kept it, whatever was going on, he was keeping to himself, you know, and then he would, like, call me up personally. He would call me and, like, look, man, I need you to watch my back. And I'd be like, what you want me to watch your back for? You know, so I would, like, sit there and I would be up all night while he may have a young lady upstairs or, you know, getting some rest or whatnot. And I was like, damn, something's not right. You know, and I will always try to pry him, try to find out exactly what wasn't right. You know, but you know, that big brother like nature of his, you know, or protected nature that he had, he would never let on actually what's going on. But you know, you knew he knew something wasn't right, and he just wasn't going to tell nobody. And he was basically trying to protect people that he probably was close with, and then more likely us.
The conversation had came up at the time about, you know, the situation as far as him choosing Frog to be, you know, his right-hand man, you know what I mean? You know, basically he was telling me, like, you know, I never wanted, like, you, James, Sloan, none of y'all to really be, like, in position like that, because if something was to happen to y'all, I wouldn't have been able to, you know, face, you know, the family, our family like that, you know what I mean? Because I basically would have, you know, dragged y'all into something, you know what I mean? And he was just like, I didn't want to, you know, wouldn't have been able to live, he wouldn't have been able to live with that on his head.
Go visit his mom for Mother's Day at a job. He buys her some flowers. He takes her the flower. He drops off the flower. Gave her a kiss. We go see Mom and his grandmother. Spend a little time with Mom. I mean, we used to be in and out with Mom. I say, hey, Mom, what's going on? But he literally sat down and he talked to her. We left there. We went to the pool hall. It was a place called Billy Bob's on 40th and Spruce. So we playing pool. And Buck says, the guy says to Buck, slow down, young Buck. Buck was going around the table, pow, 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 just knocking the ball. He play pool his ass up. And the old head says, slow down, young boy, stop being in such a rush. Stop rushing your life away. And Buck said, man, I'm gonna live forever. I don't know what the fuck you talking about. I ain't gonna never die. Just talking shit, shooting pool. And that shit just stuck with me, you know. So we left the pool hall. And so he goes to his mom's house. So he gets a phone call. He's like, yo, I'm out. He shut the door. It's the vestibule door, then it's the door leading outside. Vestibule door shut. I go open up the door, and the door wasn't open. So I goes to the window, and I look out the window, and he goes like this. Peace, like peace. And he muffled out his, you know, out his mouth, like he used to always say, you know, but I'm in it, you know what I mean, and I can feel that, you know, I love you. Probably about 7 or something in the morning, I hear Ron screaming, not my brother. You're not saying my brother. And I just jumped up. I just had this numbing feeling like, I know it's true. And all the conversations that me and him had in the past about how he felt, those demons that he was fighting, I just all start coming.
I was up 57th Street. You know, this young lady's house named Darcel. And when I came in there, he was tearing up, and then he came down. It was like, you know, Bucky passed. You know, and I'm like, you know, I was looking at them like they was crazy, but I didn't like really take the weight of what they were saying because I had another cousin named Buck. So I thought they was talking about a guy named Tom Buck. He was like, no, I'm Shorty. Little Buck, you know, he got killed. So I was like, boom. I mean, I sat back and I was like stuck. You know, then I picked up my little weapon, you know, and I marched, you know, 7 blocks, carrying my weapon, you know, till I got to my aunt's house. You know, that's when I got there, everybody was going nuts. Everybody was crying, snapping, you know. And I knew then that Bucky actually got killed. That's when I knew it was real.
Bucky's death left a hole in the heart of his family. It vacuumed the life out of the community he grew up in and drove the final nail into the coffin of the Junior Black Mafia.
Niggas love that nigga, man. You know what I mean? And it was a situation where everybody was fucked up. Like, shit stopped moving for a minute.
Money wasn't no longer to be made. It changed a lot of households. Crackhead moms that he would go feed the kids after they spent their money with him. Those kids went home.
Southwest started getting crazier because now it's like, all right, the doors is open now.
A lot of dudes now, like after Buck, a lot of them left the game because of that. Like, yo, because he fed everybody.
Sad how you can take one person out of an equation, and that's, you know, that's like now when you say, well, that's a good team, but they missing they missing one player, and they took that one player out, and they never, I guarantee they didn't know that that's the player that they would miss the most. You know what I mean? Because that one player eliminated everything. It was a chain reaction after that.
Tons of family members, friends, members from the community, and friends from around the city attended the funeral service held for the late Leroy Bucky Davis on May 19, 1990, at the Highway Church of Christ on 39th and Powhatan Avenue. The emotional and tragic day of memory was headed by a special reading by Charlie Mack.
It really hit me harder at the burial. I was standing up there with his mom, and I was in my uniform, and his mom, you know, she just kept saying, you know, now she don't have to worry, she knew where her son is at. And I was like, that was real touching right there, you know, to hear mom say that, because she know what he's been doing, what he's been through, you know what's been going on. So that's when it really affected me, because I seen it hurt his mom's, you know, eyes and face.
You know, particularly motherfuckers in there that, you know, people thought had something to do with it, you know what I mean, that shouldn't have been in there, you know what I mean, it was in the funeral, trying to play it along like they had nothing to do with it, you know what I mean, you know, so it was a tense situation, tense scene, you know what I mean, a lot of police was out there, FBI agents, it was, you know, it was heavy.
Rumors were swirling around about who killed Bucky.
I heard it was jealousy, and then I also heard it was supposed to be like a major debt, you know what I mean, but it was a lot of rumors. I'm inclined to go with the jealousy part. You know what I mean? Somebody ain't like Lil Buck, or maybe Lil Buck was ruffling the feathers.
The disorganized band of JBM members began falling. One by one, they were arrested.
I had a lawyer, Leroy was dealing with a lawyer, and he actually came to me and said, no bull, people got it, and I no longer can represent you because it's conflict of interest, because I had both of y'all. So he kind of put it up on why he was in for a minute, and he kind of like let us know what the time was too. So, you know, we was getting bits and pieces of what was going on.
Rodney Frog Carson was taken by law enforcement out of Holmesburg County Prison to a hotel where he would give a statement to police concerning JBM activities.
When Bucky Davis died, Frog, or Rodney Carson, took over his organization in Southwest Philadelphia. But soon he was targeted by law enforcement and charged with numerous counts of drug trafficking and assorted other crimes. And the combination of him facing this long jail time and the fact that he lost his best friend and how the JBM was treating them prompted him to testify against the others.
Frog started really testifying, I believe, once Bucky got killed on the streets, as far as not actually testifying, where he sat down and told the people that he was going to, flip to their side and anything like that, but I think he started just talking, just drinking the syrup and was doing these things, and he was just running his mouth and talking, and the neighbors, friendly and stuff like that. So he would sit down and have conversations, mutual conversations with him. The mutual conversations made him be comfortable, feel comfortable talking to people. Once he went to jail though, and got a taste of jail and realized what jail was looking like, that's when he really told the people come get him. He's going to testify.
wasn't built for the pen.
You know, he caused a lot of enemies with his mouth. And then we had a lot of enemies that didn't even know him, that, you know, just felt though that he should have been that type of person and getting that money like that.
Frog was a hell of a basketball player, you know what I mean? And, you know, maybe he should have just stayed on the basketball court.
To me, he wasn't really cut out for it from the start. You know, from the start, certain dudes just ain't cut out for him, and I already knew that in my heart. But you know, people questioned Buck about him from the beginning. You know, and so yeah, he played a major part in the demise.
It's a shame that he tried to tell on everybody for no reason. You know, even guys wasn't there. I wasn't there, but you might think he won that paper. You know, I bet y'all $100 my name on there. I never did nothing but letterboard.
I cursed the day that I ever met the motherfucker, man, because it was like the old Frog was gone and the new Frog was in. After the shit that he did, that committed himself to taking all them brothers off the street behind some shit that he fabricated to cut himself a deal to get out of doing some time like a man. I can't even give him his stripes for being thorough, free rat before he turned out to be a rat.
He cannot no longer use that statement, but because Bucky got killed and you think that somebody with him had something to do with it. It don't make no sense because, you know, he testified, he stated, you know, in court on Django, which is Bucky's cousin. You know how Bucky felt. You say you love Bucky, you're supposed to love things that Bucky did.
Fucked up part about it was he benefited from the situation coming up with Buck and them more than a lot of motherfuckers who was really worthy to have the position that he had.
Took the stand on everybody. People that he wasn't even directly associated with, but just from his knowledge and what was going on, you know, things that he knew, he brought down the demise, you know, a lot of people.
A federal grand jury returned a 32-count indictment charge against 26 members and associates of the Junior Black Mafia.
Organization like that down, you know, and then you're talking about people being harmed, people being murdered, you know, and the violence, you know, when you do violence, you know, and selling drugs don't mix, man, you know, that'd be the downfall for anyone.
We learned this from the old timers. If you're gonna be a hustler, be a hustler. You're gonna be a gangster, be a gangster. You can't put them together. You can't put a gangster and a hustler together. So you're gonna be one or the other.
It's a game. You understand what I'm saying? That's all it is a game. It's an illusion. You understand what I'm saying? And when you accept yourself, accept a certain lifestyle, you have to deal with the consequences that come with it. When you're not really true to that lifestyle.
Our whole crew is in jail. And those of us not in jail, we in prison. We imprison ourselves for so long that we so far behind the 8 ball that we stay afloat right now. When I say we imprison ourselves, the hurt and pain that you feel from all your boys and all your friends going, dying, and leaving because people that's in jail for the rest of their life, what kind of life is that? That's not a life. You understand what I'm saying? That's not a life. You live in a death. You know, and rather than glorify our experience, they should learn from our experience and say, you know what, I'm going to shed light on this so that everyone else can see how fucked up it is. Rather than say, I'm going to shed a light on this so everybody can say, them niggas had, them niggas got it. It ain't gonna work.
My message is, look, man, you can do better than this. That thing there is only for a period of time. Of course, it's going to be good, it's going to be fun, you're going to get money, it's all gravy. But all things come to an end. It's all a matter of how you want it to end. You know what I mean? Do you want it to end with you either 6 feet underground, or you want it to end with you in life in prison? Or do you want it to end where you were successful in life, you made a lot of money, you know, doing other things, doing it the right way? You know what I mean? Success doesn't necessarily always mean having money and being wealthy. Sometimes success means just being happy and living a prosperous, joyful life. You know, because if everybody was meant to be filthy rich and everybody was meant to be kingpins or whatever like that, you know what I mean? You wouldn't know the difference between a kingpin and a motherfucker who sells nickel rocks, you know what I mean? So it's not everything, what Buck used to always say was, everything's not for everybody.
I should be sponsored by G4. Yes, it ain't big, I just think enormous. Built for tough, but I fly to foreign. Inside pineapple, top is orange. Cyan on the wrist, son of a Lauren. Pinky rings beautiful, the chains is gorgeous. Backpack trips like Dora Explorer. Now we're partying on a yacht in the coast of Florida. Balling in Miami, I'm heat paid. Ain't water, they take it to the paint. I'm D-Wade, David to a Goliath, catch a lesson from King James. Been ordered a portion across the board. That's so much work up in that pot to get Pablo.